have spent $32,196.23 on Affirm and Klarna since 2022. And
How much? She spent $32,000 combined with Affirm and Klarna. This is what I'm talking about. How do you get to $32,000 split between Affirm and Klarna? I don't see how that's, unless you're putting everything on there, I don't see how you get to that number that quickly. Am I crazy? Did I miss something? Did I miss like some form of event where people just start to take out loans for anything? Like the other day, I saw somebody, like there was a post of Coachella, this music event, right? Like a festival, and they're saying like 60% of the people who paid for the tickets paid for them on like some form of buy now, pay later type of loan. That is concerning. Like, I feel like if you have to do that in order to go to an event like that, I think you should be reconsidering a lot of the things. But that's just me, right? A lot of the people in these videos, they are free to do whatever they feel like doing. It's a free country. But the issue is when you come on and you're saying the companies are predatory when they're just operating like a business.
Buy now, pay later is getting kind of crazy.
my payments were $1,250 a month.
These are companies like Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, and this is where you can go online and buy something like a MacBook or a Chipotle burrito and split it into 4 interest-free payments. And it seems harmless. You pay less today and there's no interest, right? That's where it gets a little bit iffy because over 60% of people who use buy now, pay later have more than one loan going on at once. And Affirm, one of the biggest buy now, pay later companies, last year made over $1.2 billion with a B dollars in interest. So those interest-free loans actually end up charging you interest. And that's because
Yeah, obviously. How else do you expect the business like Affirm, Afterpay, all of these companies that are offering these loans are a business and they have to find a way to be profitable. The way that they're profitable is by offering interest on loans that were not paid on time. It's like a lot of the times when I see people when they're criticizing these companies, it doesn't really make any sense to me because when you were signing up for that loan, you knew the terms of service. You knew what you had to do, which is pay the loan back. And if you miss a payment, you pay interest, you pay extra. It's a penalty. It's like I go to my cousin and I say, I'm gonna lend you $20 and I expect you to give me back that $20 at the end of the week. He is late. Now, if I'm the company, I would want some form of payment, some form of like compensation for him being late. It's the same with anything. So I don't get the angle that people are using when they're saying these companies are predatory. Maybe their argument is that the fees or like the penalties are not upfront, perhaps, but I mean, nothing really like in life is free, so you have to expect some form of penalty. They're not just giving out free money, although some people believe that they are giving out free money.
out of every 3 people who use buy now, pay later end up missing a payment. These companies are literally betting that you're gonna fail.
I have spent
That's how they make their money. They have to stay in business somehow. As I said before, it's either they apply the interest immediately, which is the whole point is that you don't pay any interest. That's their whole marketing. The money that you would normally pay upfront initially is split up into smaller payments, so it's smaller chunks that you can actually deal with. It's not a problem if you had the money to buy the item in the first place. Now, life has some unexpected turmoil, let's say. Certain things don't always go your way, and sometimes you need cash immediately. So that's where Affirm, or let's say one of these afterpay type of companies would come in handy. You don't hand out a whole chunk of money immediately. You would pay it in installments. And if an emergency comes up where you would need the money that you would pay up front, you would have it, and then you will still have your affirm payment on the side. It is not necessarily a bad company. It's not necessarily a horrible practice. It makes sense if you're responsible with your money. If you're just going around putting everything, I'm hearing people put in Chipotle, pizza, like they're putting everything on the affirm thing, and when it comes time to pay, they don't want to pay. That doesn't make any sense. Like, if a lot of these people who are doing these like affirm loans, Klarna loans, if they were the executive, they're the ones that are in charge of the company, and you give somebody a loan and they're telling you, no, you're predatory, I shouldn't have to pay back your loan. That doesn't make any sense, no? Does that make any sense? I don't think that makes any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
The big question is, what did I purchase? If you are new here, hi, my name is Diva, and
Hi,
I
Diva.
am $107,000 in debt, and I am the Affirm and Klarna girl. Yep. When I started this journey, I had $9,500 in debt to Affirm and Klarna. I now have it under $3,000, and we are about to pay off 8 of those suckers next week.
Good job.
But what did I purchase? This is the question everybody always asks. Honestly, everything under the
Nice ad. But I'm actually interested to know what she actually bought with the money, because that's a lot of money, if I'm being honest, and could be extremely detrimental if she misses a payment, which a lot of people tend to do. That's probably why she got to $30,000 in the first place. But listen, the sentiment around if you should pay back what you owe or not is that their tactics in marketing whatever they're trying to sell you is they label it as predatory so that they have a justification to not pay it back. Mind you, if they were in the same situation and they loan somebody that same amount of money, like imagine you loan somebody $30,000 and they're telling you, oh, your tactics are predatory, I'm not going to pay you back. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, be responsible with your money. Your money can be the difference between you living a comfortable life and a life where you're constantly having to pay somebody the money that you basically took from them, right? So that is it. Until next time.